$69.99. That's doubling the power, but not doubling the price. And we have different EcoFlows in the assortment. This today's special is, I mean, there are more powerful ones that are in the, you know, that are more than double the price and more than double the weight. But and there's also smaller ones that are kind of more like, you know, kind of around the house fun thing. You know, this one is kind of like the middle, and you, with the extra battery, you can double it and make it like the fanciest battery, but not at the fanciest price.
No,
is basically, Justin.
Without a doubt. I wish we had like a chart, kind of like what you were just talking about, where you could almost see the different size power stations that we have. We love that we can create a lot of them because it's something at a different value for everybody, for different, you know, needs and necessities and prioritizing. But we have our River line, and we just sold out of all of our River 3s just earlier this month. But those powered about 80% of your home appliances. We have some power stations, even in the world of the Delta power stations, that will only power 90% of your home appliances. And some of the River will do that as well. The Delta 3 will power 99% of your home appliances. So now you have the peace of mind that I've got something that is lightweight, that will power just about every single thing that I have in my household right now. And even if you're just sitting in the living room, not even in the bedroom, in the living room right now, you've got your television, you got your phone, you maybe have portable air conditioning or a window AC unit, you've got the refrigerator that's running, you've got your inner that's running, of course, even the television that's gonna be on. All of those things you can be running simultaneously, connected to one power station. And then in the morning you wake up, I'd like to have a nice hot cup of coffee. You can. And then I love the electric kettle. People still using those?
You know what? I had one, actually it wasn't an electric kettle. I had a beautiful kettle with Wolfgang Puck, but you put it on the stove. Everybody in England uses one electric kettle because my parents lived there for many years. I don't see them a lot here in the US though. I don't think that's an American thing.
Don't think that's an American thing.
But I appreciate the optimism of the folks at EcoFlow thinking we're so continental.
They put that in there for Adam.
They did.
They put that one in there for
They thought Adam was hosting the show,
yes.
so that's what happened. Adam is still here. He's up in Pennsylvania. You'll be seeing him a lot on air. You've got two prices. $519.99 and $619.99. One is just the EcoFlow. The other is the bundle where you get the solar panel, and then you also get the wagon. And I do want to mention that the solar panel does come with a really nice case. This is the solar panel for the case. That is included. So I have got that in my wagon because I'm all set. The wagon, as Justin showed you, is really, really high quality. It's $160 retail value. This is $230 on sale on hsn.com right now. Together, it's a little under $500 value. So why not do $619.99 for the Delta 3, where you're getting that? You know, the main reason for the solar panel to me is you usually use the EcoFlow when there's no power.
Right.
Okay, you power your refrigerator, good, you're not, you know, losing $300 worth of food. Okay, you know, you use it twice, it pays for itself. You know, you power this, okay, so now you used all the power in the EcoFlow after a few days.
Yep.
How do you repower it? Uh-oh, your power's out. You know, so I just want to say that's where you can also continue to have things plugged in as you have the solar panel plugged in.
Yeah, well, for when this happens and you're sitting there saying, well, great, okay, so now I've got my power station. What happens that when that runs out of power?
Right.
That's why you need the solar panel.
Exactly.
That way, the next day, you take your solar panel out, you connect it to the power station, the cables are all included, and then you now use the sun for free to power up your power station. Let me tell you what, it's one of the best feelings in the world when you finally do that. I'm sure when you had the solar panels, you know, installed on the roof, when you finally were like, wow, that really works. And I think for a lot of people,
well, especially when you see your bill.
Right.
That's the big difference. And recharging, because the more things you can power with the EcoFlow and recharge with solar, especially if you live in an apartment, condo, townhouse, you don't even have the choice to use a generator that uses gasoline, because you have to have your generator that uses gasoline many, many feet away from your house for safety reasons. You can't even have it in a townhome, apartment, or condo, Justin.
I'll never forget this. I was at one of the expos in Vegas, and this was when we were doing the booth for EcoFlow. This was a few years ago. And there was a gentleman that was a couple, older couple, and they had a different booth. And he's been looking at the EcoFlows this whole entire week, and he comes over and he's like, why couldn't you just have a generator? I was like, well, why don't you bring your wife over here? Let's have a conversation.
You're like,
yeah, thank you. Come on over here. Come on over here. I'm like, okay, so let's talk about this. And I was like, okay, so generator. All right, what happens if you live in an apartment or condo? Well, oh, okay. All right, great. So I looked at his wife. I said, will you run the generator at home? She said, no, never even gonna touch the thing. Okay, and so there you go. When you look at the generator that's sitting right here in the studio, it does not look normal. It feels completely out of place.
Right, but the main thing, and Justin and I learned this, when there is a hurricane, like there was with Milton, kind of a disaster, there was, 80% of the houses on the street I live on were flooded and destroyed on my street that I live on. Then guess what? You go to the gas station, there's no gas. The gas tanks aren't coming into your neighborhood. And after 2 weeks, when they finally came in, there was a line for miles, and they called the police to direct traffic and make sure everybody behaved themselves.
Yep.
Justin and I remember that. That was less than a year ago here. So I'm not remembering something from, the Stone Ages. I'm remembering something a few months ago. So gasoline is also scarce. So what are you gonna do? Store a bunch of gasoline in your house? That's not safe.
They're still cleaning up from last hurricane.
They still are, yes.
And
in my street, people haven't even moved back in yet.
Yeah, and I know, and Helen knows my mom very well. Now, in her neighborhood, an F3 tornado literally went right in front of their house. They were unbelievably lucky, and fortunately nobody was injured, but about 4 or 5 of the homes completely destroyed, if not maybe even 6 of them, completely gone. The power to get the trucks even into these neighborhoods, because the tornado went about 20 miles, to get the trucks into the neighborhoods, to get power lines up, took weeks at a time. We were out of power for 2.5 weeks here. You don't know how long you'll be out of power, and then you said, well, can't you just go to the gas station and get gas? Guess what? The gas station, one, doesn't have power, and it doesn't have gas.
It was like that movie Waterworld.
It's one of my favorite Kevin Costner movies. One of my favorite. I wanted gills behind my ears my whole life.
Yeah, that was the race for gasoline.
He's got dirt.
And I'm going to be honest. I didn't think about that. I wasn't thinking, oh, there's a hurricane. We better fill up the cars with gas. That wasn't even on my radar. So that's where, again, it was the reason number 4050 that I'm glad I had the EcoFlow. Now I've also lent the EcoFlow. I remember there was a couple power outages from a friend of mine. There was a lightning strike. She lost power. And I just put that in the back of my car, drove her to her house, and gave her my EcoFlow.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's the kind of thing where we all share it, because we all don't lose power at the same time and different thing. It's a shareable energy resource.
It is. Well, and it's shareable in the sense that you're sharing it between emergencies and non-emergency time and the fun stuff. So when you say, hey, you know what? And look, if you got a boat, you're going to take this. If you got a camper and RV, you're going to take this with you. If you don't have any of those things, you've got a wagon, you got a car, you got a local pool, you're gonna say, let's take this with us. We're gonna walk down there with the grandkids, with the kids. We're gonna have the floaties, we're gonna have the beach towels, we're gonna have the fan out there. The kids can plug in their phones. You can plug your phones in. You talk about the best conversation starter, especially if you show up to the pickleball court right now with a fan and your EcoFlow. Everybody's gonna be like, what in the world is that? And I'm telling you what, when we go tailgating, my dad and I, during the football season, every single time, we've got our whole setup with all of our EcoFlows, and we're cooking out there without propane, without having to worry about leaving the hot coals out to cool down in the middle, during the game. Everybody stops and says, what is that? And that's what is a big reminder, because it's men and it's women, and I always think, although we've been doing this for 7 years, so many people still don't realize that something like this even exists, and not just that it exists, but at the advanced level of what it exists at.
Well, it's gotten twice as powerful and half the cost.
Right.
I mean, that's what's happening today, as this is a Today Special. And when you turn it on, you see how much power is left. Mine is at 100%. It goes on standby mode when I don't push that, just so it's saving its own power for the illuminated LED screen there. So I have another EcoFlow story. So it's a fun story. Power where you want it. Christmas time, we have a boat. I say we, it's my husband's boat. I don't know how to drive it or start it or do anything to it, except sit in it. But so we're part of the Christmas parade, so we put lights all over it. And I'm like, how are we gonna power all the lights? My husband gets the EcoFlow, puts it on the boat, plugs all the lights into it. And I'm talking, he took the lights off of our lawn, our decorations off of our lawn, and put it on the boat. Did the whole boat up, and then did the parade, and then put it back around the house. That's my husband. He goes all out for everything. But without the EcoFlow, I mean, what I don't know how, there was no other, like it would, I don't know how everybody else in the boat parade lit their unless it was a boat parade of EcoFlows. I actually have no idea.
Well, probably more than, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the beach and I've seen people with these now. I mean, it's right. become one of those products and brands that is now just spread across so many different consumers.
It's not just music at the beach and at the lake.
Right.
It's a fan.
Exactly.
You know, maybe it's a, you know, it's a radio, even if you're
cooking at the beach
you're
now
cooking
too
at the
with
beach.
it.
Yeah, your induction burner.
Yeah.
You know, your margarita maker.
Yeah.
You know.
You've got your tent and you've
or blender, as we used to call it.
Yeah. Or as Sid was saying, inflating those floats that.
Oh yes.
Right. I mean, now you can do that. As far as just when you say, I got another story, it's amazing just, you know, because I have the good fortune of, you know, getting to hear from all the different hosts who, by the way, all have an EcoFlow. Whether it's Deb, whether it is Guy. Guy used it for the same thing with lights on his golf cart. Then he had the EcoFlow when all of his electric in his house went out. When it was Deb, Deb said, I went through that hurricane the first time that I was here, and I said to myself, I need an EcoFlow. And she got an EcoFlow. And then
Was that your impression of Debbie D?
Well,
you didn't commit to it.
I didn't commit. I could have committed more.
You could have committed to that one.
I could have committed
but
more.
She definitely, like, you know, she moved here from Texas.
Yes.
And there's lots of like weather stuff here, but not like Florida with the power going out all the time. My daughter lives in California. When I lived in California, we had brownouts where they were worried about the catching, you know, the wildfires. Yeah. So they would, the government would turn our power off because it was safer. But I was like, is it safer for me not to have TV?
In the middle of summer?
In the middle of the summer without my fan, without my air conditioner. By the way, this will power a portable air conditioner.
It absolutely will.
Not all of them will. This is 99% of all appliances.
And we've had a Hunter air conditioning unit, 10,000 BTU, actually, that we believe presented even earlier today, that we've run with that one. I've run that exact unit, which I have at home.
Yeah.
And I definitely recommend, we talk about different emergency types of things. You know, whether you have central AC or not, I would recommend getting a portable air conditioning unit at any size, and then using it with your EcoFlow. Because if you got no central AC, yes, a fan is nice, but knowing that you have something that you can actually power a full-size air conditioning unit.
You may say, oh, our power's out, we have no air conditioner, let's go to a hotel. Oh yeah, which hotel? Is it a hotel in your town? Because it doesn't have power either. That's something else that we learned. I thought about that. I thought they all have power, right? No, they don't.
Well, and you know, what happened with everybody losing, you know, their homes on the beach side, everybody was staying in the hotels for a very long time, or people were already evacuating. So as people that had already evacuated, when the homes unfortunately flooded, those people had nowhere to go. And then even if you think, well, I'm going to evacuate, I'm going to go to the East Coast. So I was talking to Lynn about this. Everybody's like, I'm going to go to the East Coast. You know how many times I've done that? To the point where the hurricane always follows you.
100%.
Every single time.
We're going to go to Orlando. We did that once, and then my daughter was sitting in the back seat going, I think the hurricane moved, it's going to Orlando. We made a U-turn and came back home. Like, you can't outguess these things.
You have no idea.
Right.
And look, if you have to evacuate, you need to evacuate.
Right,
but if you leave because you know we're prone to losing power, now make the decision to say, look, we've got our food, we've got our water. If you're truly safe, if you need to evacuate, you need to evacuate. But if you're evacuating simply because you don't have power at home, when this happens, whether it's hurricane or one of these summer storms, or as you said, Ellen, it's the winter storms, it's the brownouts. You need to have the power. Look, I've been sitting in the bedroom because I wanted to show you the CPAP machine. It's a big deal. We invest in different medical devices, not because, you know what would be nice if I had a CPAP. You have a CPAP because you need a CPAP machine, and it's a $700 investment. I've had the CPAP machine running for a good bit. We still have about 16 hours that we can continue to run this CPAP machine for, and it's oxygen machines, it's dialysis machines. This isn't like, these aren't things that we just list off because we thought, maybe people. It's because these are in your reviews over the past 7 years of how you use it, and how not only you used it then, how you're going to use it now, and you're going to continue to use it next year and the year after and the year after that. Remember, you're getting the latest and greatest battery, meaning that this at a very minimum will last you 10 years. If you were to deplete this and recharge this once a day, you've got 4,000 life cycles on this, so you know that you're investing in something that you're going to have for a very, very long time. And that's how many times going out on the boat. That's how many times going out to the pool. How many times using it during the summer. How many times throughout the year do we just lose power for for a few hours, then it would be nice to just say, plug the EcoFlow in. All those different moments in the next 10 years of your life, you're gonna have covered with having EcoFlow at home.
Right, and there's the manufacturer's 5-year warranty. That's another big deal because this is a more advanced EcoFlow, latest and greatest. So here's the big deal. How much money you're saving by getting it today when it's a Today Special. I didn't even mention the shipping and handling, which is free. You're saving, I think it's like $25 to $45 because you've got the solar panel and the wagon and the EcoFlow. You're getting all that shipped to you for free. That's incredible. And I'm also gonna say something else. Everything you buy at HSN, you get 30 days. If you don't love everything you're getting, you can return anything you buy ever, and there's no restocking fee. No restocking fee. And I know you're thinking, okay, this is in the electronics category. If you've ever bought something from an electronics store, sometimes you have to get they pay 10 to 15% of the purchase price just to send something back. We never do that here at HSN. Also, the VIP financing. I think that's a big deal today. I don't want to over talk it, but we've got something called the HSN card. It's a proprietary credit card. There's no annual fee. If you're an HSN shopper like I am, I've had mine for a decade, you get an extra flex pay on almost everything, and it takes about a minute to get one. You can go to our website, hsn.com. In the search bar, just write HSN card. There's an 800 number. It's 1-800-695-1418. You even get a coupon today. It's $15. You can take it off this or something else in the future, whatever you want to do. And then you get, it's beyond an extra flex pay. We ship right away, but you get a year and a half to pay it off if you get the bundle. A year and a half. You could do even payments, or you could pay the minimum 1 month, and you could pay a little extra another month. It's like, $30, $40, $50 a month. It's very affordable. However, if you want to get just the EcoFlow, you still get VIP financing. You get a year, not a year and a half, but a year. So it's actually less per month to get the bundle because you get another 6 months to pay it off. I do think the bundle's a better value because you're going to want to come back and get the solar panel, and then you're going to think, God, that wagon was so nice. I could have used it to go to the beach. I could have used it to go camping. I could have used it to do gardening. I could have used it to put my EcoFlow integrator on it, and now you go to buy it on its own. It's $160. So it's a steal of a deal to get the bundle. $160 and $230. That makes the EcoFlow just a couple $100. So it's just outrageous. I paid over $1,000 for mine, and it's not as powerful as this one. Did we go through all the ports?
I'm not sure if we did.
Well, we could do that, can't we?
I think we could do that.
I could do it.
You could do that.
I could do that. Yeah. There's 13 ports. And what I love about it, first of all, is it's got that C port. So, I have a newer iPhone, but it's not even just the newer iPhones. It's literally everything is switching. It's literally everything.
Yes.
The track phones that, because I was talking to Lori Leland, she presents the track phones. They're all C ports.
Yep.
Like everything you get now is a C port. So it does have the C ports. It has 2 of them to recharge, like like your wearables, as they say, like your watches and your earbuds and all those things. Then you have that USBA port. That's pretty much every electronic item ever has that, standard USB port. Then you're getting, the regular, we call them AC outlets, and you even get one with a 3-prong. And then these guys, you're wondering, they look a little funky. How about your washing machine? I don't even know what those are called, Justin.
Well, they are the 3-prong. They're just turned.
They're turned 3-prong.
They're to the side.
Are they rotated to the side? I don't know why you do those things to confuse your elders. But yes, if it goes that direction, you're all set. I knew that. I was just testing Justin. But yes, 3-prong, and then because the washing.
But you can plug your washing machine into it.
Yes.
Yes,
well,
you can.
You had me at washing machine because I could tell you also during Milton. I said, because my husband teases me that's my #1 hobby is doing laundry, because I do laundry every single day because everything always needs to be washed, in my opinion. So, and I didn't get my own washing machine in my own house till I was in my 40s because I lived in New York City my whole life, and I moved to LA, and then I bought my first townhome. I remember buying a washing machine, so I kind of worship my washer dryer. But anyway, the fact that you can still wash your clothes is a big deal. Justin and I are going to take a teeny little break. We have another 30-minute presentation. We're going to start at the beginning and do a whole other presentation right after this, so don't go away. Oh, I think it's starting to rain. Stand by. Hey there.
Let's chat about getting some of the best deals on the things you love. Because when you're an HSN card VIP, the perks are all yours. And who doesn't love extra perks? Like 12 to 18-month VIP financing on select items, Plus, extra flex on items that you love all day, every day. And HSN card VIPs enjoy extra perks. Oh, if you apply today and if approved, you could get $15 off your order. So, are you ready to jump in? Give them a ring or visit hsn.com.
The G by Giuliana woman is a woman who is a true fashionista. We firmly believe that every woman deserves to feel confident, beautiful, and comfortable. High-end fashion for the everyday woman.
We have something special for you. Sign up for HSN emails and take 15% off your next single item purchase. You'll get exclusive offers, early access, and the latest updates sent straight to your inbox. Love to save? Visit hsn.com to learn more.
Get deals on tap with the HSN app. Opt in to push notifications for shipping updates, app-only deals, and special offers. Stream HSN anywhere 24 hours a day. Download now and take $10 off your first app purchase. Happy shopping.
Well, my name is Helen Keeney. We're live here in the studio. By the way, follow me on my social media. Honestly, I'm mainly on Instagram, and it's the official Helen Keeney. I am on Facebook as well, and it's Helen Keeney Comedy. My personal page has over 5,000 people. I can't take one more friend. It's not that I don't want to, so I have a public page, but I answer all your messages. So we're going to talk about the EcoFlow. Now, we've got this 30-minute presentation and then the final presentation at 11. It is our today's special. It is the Delta 3, which is the latest and greatest. And we do have a choice of the EcoFlow only, or for just $100 more to get the $160 wagon and the on-sale $230 solar panel, which has far and away been the best seller because to be honest, I have to be honest, it makes a little bit more sense because if there's a power outage and you want to recharge your EcoFlow, you could do it by the sun and you're not beholden to anybody. If you want to go off the grid and go camping for a month, you could just keep recharging and recharging and recharging. And it doesn't have to be in full, giant sun beaming down on you. It can even be on a cloudy day. It'll recharge using the sun. The item number for the today's special is 089765. Let me tell you about some special things we're doing to get it home for you that makes it a today's special. First of all, free shipping and handling. When you get this home, you lift this up. I know that our EcoFlow is really lightweight. It's under 28 pounds. But if you took a 28-pound box of cement to the post office, it would be probably, I can't even guess, maybe $100 to ship somewhere. This is free shipping for your solar panel, your wagon, and your EcoFlow. Or if you choose to just get the EcoFlow, just the EcoFlow. The difference in price is only $100. That's why the bundle is honestly a way, way, way amazing, better value. So VIP financing, so free shipping, amazing sale price, and VIP financing. If you have an HSN card, you get a year and a half to pay off the bundle or a year to pay off just the EcoFlow. And honestly, if you break it down into even payments, it's actually less money per month to get the bundle because you're spreading it out over 6 months longer than the year. So let's talk about why do you want an EcoFlow? It's basically power that you're in control of. So let's say there's a power outage, or let's say you have something called a Florida room. A Florida room is like a little room that is, maybe it's enclosed and maybe it's got like a screen, but there's no plugs or anywhere around it. We're simulating a storm here in the studio just to make everybody feel comfortable because it's like this 24/7 in Florida. But there's no power in a Florida room. Maybe you want to plug in a fan. Well, there's no plug. Just pop out your EcoFlow and then plug it in. Maybe you want to, charge your phone or, I want to think bigger than charging your phone. Matt, maybe a portable air conditioning unit. There's so many things you can do. This powers 99% of your appliances. Justin Hyatt is our special guest. He knows more about exactly what this powers than I do. So I'm going to turn it over to Justin, who's standing by in our kitchen because we need our coffee. We need our eggs in the morning. We need our food. We need to keep all the food we bought cold so we don't throw it away, right, Justin?
And when do we want it? We want it now.
We want it now.
And we want it breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
Is that too much to ask?
No, it is not.
But you're right. I mean, look, the reality is that we need to start making plans, and we make plans for what would seem like a possibility, but truly inevitable when we are going to be out of power. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a power outage like this. It might be for a true emergency, but it could just be the blackouts, the brownouts, the whiteouts, where we have high amount of ice concentrated on the power lines, and then they start to pull the power down. And now all we need to do is press one touch of a button. I've lived in Minneapolis. I grew up in South Florida. I know a lot of people who live across the country. Helen, who you lived in California, and your daughter who continues to live in California, all the times that they do the brownouts and they actually plan times that they shut down the grid, which never really made sense to me, because I'm paying my money every month to pay for my power at home. Well, now no matter what, have your own, not only just power station, but your own powerhouse, something that can truly power not just 80% or 90%, 99% of your home appliances. I want you to see all the things that I just plugged in. Well, not necessarily plugged in, but just powered up. So I've got my full-size refrigerator. Now, this is a freezer. This could be a deep freezer. It could be a secondary refrigerator. This could be in my apartment. This could be in my condo. I am running something that only weighs 28 pounds. And I have it on my kitchen counter, or I could even have it in my kitchen. You can leave it in that wagon. And now we've got a light, we've got a refrigerator that's running, and not only all of these different things, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut and cross because I wanna turn on that microwave, because now I can take food out of that refrigerator, pop it into my microwave, or into my air fryer, or onto the induction burner. I can walk over here to my coffee maker and make coffee. I can have my light while I'm doing it. I can then, in the morning, go ahead and get that griddle out and start making some eggs and some bacon, make some breakfast like life is normal, as it should be, and now it can be. For anybody who's been watching or maybe thinking about it, I want you to truly consider, how would you do everything that I just did in your house right now? And we don't have to think about what kind of house, whether it's an apartment or condo, conventional home. How could you do what I just did in your home, and how quickly I did it with something that is this size on your kitchen counter? Knowing that you can have something like this to be able to cook your food and keep yourself warm and keep your family safe, and then have that refrigerator for your medicine, for your food that you've invested in because we need it. When you think of prioritizing, we need food, we need water, we need power. You know what food and water needs now? It needs power. We don't have ice chests in our homes anymore. We have refrigerators. We have appliances to cook that said food. You need power. This is the best way to do it. EcoFlow has made it so easy and truly accessible for anybody who's been watching, whether it's been the past 7 years or even the past 7 minutes, to finally have that option in their home and now feel confident when you get it at home that not only do you have it, but I can use it. It's one thing if it's a generator that'll sit there and wait for an emergency, or when you've got an EcoFlow, and you got that right there. And kudos to whoever just read my mind. Thank you. That was right on cue. Helen, you look at that and you think, that's not something I want in my home. That's not something I'm gonna use. But I would use this, and now you can.
Right, and not everybody can use a generator. If you live in an apartment, you can't use a generator with gasoline. If you live in a condo, you can't use a generator with gasoline. You live in a townhouse. You have to, when you have a generator, you have to store the gasoline, use it safely, keep it many, many, many feet from your house, and follow the directions. I'm not an expert on gas generators, but there's a lot of safety issues, but make sure you use it properly. None of that is with the EcoFlow. The EcoFlow is, you know, power indoors. And I don't know about you, but during a hurricane, I don't want to walk outside in a hurricane and be pouring gasoline into a generator. I want to be inside my house with my coffee maker plugged in, you know, my tablet plugged in, so I'm watching movies, and, you know, with a, you know, or however, you know, with the internet, or downloaded DVDs. If there's no internet, you can still be entertained. You've downloaded movies to your tablet, you're watching them. I'm downloading movies. I'm old. He's picking on me tonight. You can download movies to your devices, like and even MP3s. From Netflix. Right, so if there's no internet, you can't stream stuff, but you can download stuff. Oh. Kids today.
Those MP3s.
Those MP3s. I'm just saying that there's like, if there's no, I don't want to be running around in a hurricane like Dorothy with my shoes, trying to pour gasoline into a generator and pray it's the right amount of distance from my house so I don't kill my family.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for me, I'm not good at that stuff, so I wouldn't even think about a generator. Just like when you talk to that couple, maybe the husband feels more comfortable with that.
Exactly.
Because the wife is like, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole because I don't want to make a mistake.
But that's exactly what I was even asking, because I was like, well, but if you're not home, she's never going to feel confident to be able to do that.
Exactly.
And look, I'm not saying that women can't run generators.
Right. No, I'm saying that.
But I always say, would you feel...
I'm not saying that. Don't send me emails.
Would you feel confident popping the hood of your car? Right? I mean, we start there, right? If you don't feel...
Wait, have you seen my nails?
And that's why you wouldn't.
I would not. I am a terrible representative of women everywhere. I do not. No, but I do have the EcoFlow. I am self-sufficient. You know how I am self-sufficient? I know that I can push that button, it'll come on, and I can plug in my Curtis Stone griddle, which I've done, and make eggs, which I've done. Well, so those are my needs are met, and I took care of myself.
Well, and nobody would say, no, I think I'd rather stick with the harder way.
Right, exactly.
Like the fact that there's an easier way, that's what, you know, it's not, it doesn't mean that, well, yes, you might be able to run one of these, but to know that there's an easier way that you can do it and that is renewable and that you don't have to continue to say, all right, we got to go get more gas, or like you said, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but the generator just ran out of gas.
Right, which one of us?
Can you go out there?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
Right.
And
drive 2 towns over where there's gasoline available.
If you can
we
get
lived
out of
during
the
a hurricane, they're not available.
Anytime it kind of breaks the news, he says, this gas station on 14th and 5th is getting gas. Everybody else is doing the same thing and is going straight to that gas station. We did it. We waited 3.5 hours, and it was because we had already got the gas. We couldn't get out. Literally, it was full lockdown. Police had to come there and try and help with the flow of traffic.
And you were getting gas for your car, by the way.
Well, that, and you know, a lot of the new cars, you can't siphon gas out. The way that they're designed now, you can't. So it's not like, well, we can siphon the gas out of the vehicle and then we'll use it. You can't.
Oh,
you can't
that's interesting.
That. But yeah, even if you're getting the gas cans.
I also don't know anything about siphoning gas.
No?
No. Are you trying to get me canceled on my last show? Are you trying to insult me?
And, well, you can't because of the nails.
I haven't done that since the 80s, so I didn't. I don't know how they do that nowadays.
And so with the gas cans, well, here's the thing. With the gas cans, nobody wants to drive with open gas cans. Nobody wants to do it. If you've ever had to do it, it's uncomfortable, especially when you don't have the actual cap. This is 1 gallon. This is just 1 gallon of gas. You got to now carry about 20 gallons of gas, and maybe that's going to last you, a day or 2 days? Okay, then after 2 days, and now it's the 3rd day, and like you said, if you're going there for just getting gas for your car because you need to get to work, which one are you going to get? Are you getting gas now for your car? Oh, you know, here's the other thing I just remembered. These gas cans disappear like that because everybody goes to the store at the last minute to get a generator, to get gas cans, to get food, last minute. This is one of the greatest things about doing it now.
Right.
Because you get to get ready today for tomorrow instead of sitting there and waiting. Because look, do we have another Today Special? In August.
Yeah.
What can happen between now and then? We could have another hurricane.
It's hurricane season.
I mean, we just don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 months. I don't want to sit and wait. I'd like to get prepared now and then just not think about it.
You know, I will also say, I don't want to like say all this negative stuff about generators. Maybe you have an excellent generator and you love your generator. There's an argument to be made to also have an EcoFlow because then you're right. Because don't a lot of people? I mean, this company makes generators.
Yes.
So it's not like generators are the bad guy. Like if you have a generator, you might also want an EcoFlow, right?
Well, without a doubt. And this isn't about bad talking generators because generators are fantastic for anybody who does have a generator. Look, I have a generator. There's no reason to not if you can, especially when you can create like a hybrid system because now you can use that generator to recharge your EcoFlow and then you get to conserve your gas. I mean, knowing that your EcoFlow can power 99% of your home appliances, now you can conserve your gasoline, run your generator, and then shut your generator down down and allow everything that be powered by your EcoFlow. So you absolutely can, and that's why we have generators that we've offered as well through EcoFlow.
Right, exactly. This company makes you know, these power sources, but I really love the idea. Like, look at this couple. Maybe they're RVing and they're like they've got their little wagon and they found the perfect spot. They make a hot pot of coffee with their EcoFlow. I mean, talk about the ultimate in luxury. Recharging it, you know, with the power of the sun. And by the way, while they're recharging it, at the same time, they can be using their EcoFlow. It's not you charge it, then you use it. You could do both at once, right, Justin?
Right, it's not that if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
Right, no, absolutely, you can. Again, it's nice to know that you have the option. And ultimately, that's what this is about, options and alternatives. Guy always talks about, if I got a boat, I want...
Right, your Guy Yovan impression is way better than your Debbie D impression.
I was, as I started to do, I'm like, Debbie's going to be watching.
No, I want you to do an impression of me. Like, what does that look like?
You know what? I can't do it, it's my nails.
Oh, is it you just show the nails? Okay.
But guys, you know what I like? I like two engines. One goes bad, I got my other engine.
Right.
But he's right. I mean, look, if you got an airplane, if you got a boat, then he always talks about his dad. It's the truth, right? I'd rather, you know, thrive than just survive when you're in those moments. And if you've ever lived through it, you know, and that's why we end up becoming reactionary. Like, let's never do that again.
Right.
And so we go and we look. We'll get a generator. That generator that you get will then do what? It'll sit there for years because you're almost like, well, we'll just wait for an emergency. You're not waiting for an emergency anymore. You've got something that you'll enjoy for all the fun stuff like the boats and the RVs and then just taking the golf cart out. And the kids are gonna love it. And look, if you do have kids at home, they're gonna be able to use your EcoFlow whether you're home or not, and they're gonna find other ways that they're gonna be able to enjoy using it for the fun things too. Like, hey, do you mind if we take the EcoFlow? We want to, put it in the wagon. The friends and I are going to go and we're going to take it to the little park across the street, whatever it might be. Taking the power and having that at home for the fun stuff you're going to use for 99% of the time. For that 1% where you have that emergency, that power outage or whatever might happen, you have the peace of mind that you have it at home.
Right. I mean, if you're like, maybe there's like a park and then you're doing like a birthday party outside and you want to do like a little light show. I mean, we have presented boom boxes here that have different lights and music and things like that. You know, plug it into your EcoFlow. It's power in your control, wherever you want it, whenever you want it. Even if the whole neighborhood doesn't have power, you will have power with the EcoFlow. This is the EcoFlow Delta 3. In our final 10 minutes of our presentation, Justin and I only have one more presentation. It's tonight at 11 p.m. This is a Today Special. So from midnight to midnight, we're gonna be talking about this Today Special.
And we have.
And we have, and you have. And this is, I actually did talk about it at midnight. I launched it at midnight, and here I am back the same day talking about it for 2 more hours. This is free shipping and handling. I just really want to steer you towards choosing the bundle, and I'm going to give you my reasoning. The wagon, metal frame, it's collapsible. It's $160 retail. You can move your EcoFlow around with it, but you're also going to use it to go to the beach. You know, you're going to use it, you know, gardening. You're going to use it for a million different things. Also, the solar panel, it's actually on hsn.com right now and it's on sale. The sale price is $230. So what we're doing is, we're doing $230 and $160. There it is on hsn.com. Thank you, Sam, for showing that. It's on sale. So that's the sale price. And so almost $500 for just these two things. And this is $619.99 for all three. So it's a little over $100 then for your EcoFlow. I spend $1,000 for my EcoFlow and it was 2 generations less powerful. And it did not come with the wagon. I did get the bundle with the solar panel. So there's so many reasons to do that. Now, if you just want to get the EcoFlow by itself, you can. I do want to mention in the last 10 minutes, the battery.
The battery.
So we have an extra battery. Every time we've done a Today Special, we sell out of it so early. I'm going to give Justin all the credit for this. He went back to EcoFlow and he said, you know, about half or more of the people that buy the Today Special add that extra battery onto their order, and we sell out at noon every time. Can we get some more of that extra battery? And that's why we have some in this presentation.
Yeah, well, honestly, I mean, look, you know, the retail almost isn't even doing it justice because it's more like $1,000 in savings. And for that difference, what you're typically typically we'll see is that a lot of people who do end up getting that today's special will take that savings and get the additional battery, because essentially what this is doing is that it's doubling your time, not doubling your cost. This will allow you to now be able to double the amount of time that you run your refrigerator, run your microwave, your induction burner, or your CPAP machine, and it weighs nearly nothing, especially compared to the main power station. It's just the battery. It's not an additional inverter. It only has one outlet. It plugs into your power station. So now you just have one cable. It's like another tank of gas. And that's why a lot of you are like, wait a second, I can get the EcoFlow, and with my savings, get another battery, plus I'm getting the wagon, plus I'm getting the solar panel, and I can double the time for running everything. That's why everybody really picks these up. But we typically sell out of them early. That's why I was like, we need to have extra. Yeah. EcoFlow said, Justin, we have every single available extra battery specifically for us here at HSN.
Yeah, and that's because of Justin that we have that. You know, and even if you just think about the food in your refrigerator, if you had to replace everything in your refrigerator, I'm talking your ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, all the condiments, you know, the Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, like everything in your freezer, you know, your Curtis Stone salmon fillets, like everything you had, it's probably more than $300 worth of food.
Oh, the dressings,
the dressings,
all the condiments,
everything that you kind of build up, and then it's like this, you know, even if you just can, you know, save the food, this is worth it, because you can plug in a full-size refrigerator, and of course you can recharge it.
Well, this is what I always think about, because we always say it's $300. It's $300 of food that you just lost. It's also another $300 of food that you now have to replace. Now you're looking at like $600 worth of food.
That's $300 you lost if you never eat again.
If you never eat again.
You have to buy the food that you lost. You're right.
Right.
So just that, even if just for the food in your refrigerator one time, this will more than pay for itself. But you know, for me, there's this whole like mental health issue of feeling safe and secure.
Without a doubt.
In this world that like the power goes out. The first thing you think of is, uh-oh, what do I, you know, it's kind of this feeling. But when you like, I'm going to plug in a lamp right away. Now I'm going to think about it. Now I'm going to think about what am I going to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? My phone. Oh no, my phone's on 0. Oh, no problem. My phone, this, are you kidding? This is nothing I can power the whole house. Forget about my phone, it's nothing. Okay, you know what? When I get nervous, I get hungry. I think I'm gonna plug in my induction burner. I'm gonna make myself a snack while I figure out what I'm gonna do.
And you go straight for the condiments.
I go right for the add some ketchup to whatever it is I'm making. But because I can't cook either. But I'm just saying that
because of the nails.
And the nails. No, the nails, that's a whole other thing. If the nail salon loses power, forget it. I'm moving. We can't even talk about that. I'll really get upset. But here's the deal. The deal is that we've got 5 minutes left in this show. Justin and I are going to do our final presentation of the day at 11 o'clock. If we have enough, I believe that we're going to be okay. My producer will tell me if we're not. But